Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. I have received some questions from my subscribers, asking about work permits and how to get them for the different jobs in Canada. So, today I have decided to talk about work permits in Canada. A work permit is a legal document that authorizes a foreign national to engage in employment while inside Canada. Over 500,000 temporary foreign workers receive work permits from Canada each year from all over the world. For many foreign nationals looking for career possibilities, Canada is a top choice. Working in Canada is an excellent first step for people who want to immigrate permanently to Canada. A work permit outlines the specific restrictions attached to your authorization. These limitations will mainly be determined by the type of work permit you are eligible for. Conditions may include the type of work you can engage in, where and for whom you can work, and how long you can work in Canada. In this video, I shall be talking about the eligibility for a work permit, the types of Canadian work permits, the cost of a work permit, and how to apply for a work permit. Towards the end of the video, I will talk about the kind of foreign nationals that do not require a work permit to work in Canada. So, stick with me until the end to find out if you fall into that class. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly do so that you can enjoy more of our upcoming, highly informative content. Please like and click the notification icon to be notified whenever we upload a new video. You can share this video with your friends and loved ones. So, let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about the eligibility for a work permit. Most foreign nationals require a permit to be eligible to work in Canada, with some exemptions. To apply for a work permit, most candidates will need a Canadian job offer supported by a Labour Market Impact Assessment, LMIA. There are some exceptions to this requirement, where foreign workers can apply for a work permit without an LMIA or a job offer. We shall talk about this later in this video. However, examples of this include a recent graduate from a Canadian Designated Learning Institute, DLI, or the spouse of someone already on a Canadian work or study permit. Candidates who qualify to apply for a work permit must meet the following eligibility requirements. Demonstrate their intent to leave once their work authorization expires. Prove they have sufficient funds to support them and their family in Canada and to return home. Are not criminally or medically inadmissible to Canada. Plan to work with an eligible employer and can provide any requested documents that may prove their eligibility to enter Canada. So, what are the types of Canadian work permits? There are many different options for obtaining a Canadian work permit. The types of work permit are basically categorized into three, and they are: work permit requiring a Labour Market Impact Assessment, LMIA. LMIA exempt, but requiring a job offer or employment contract. Open work permits, that requires no job offer or LMIA. Each of these categories has various types of permits. Before we discuss each of the different categories and the types under each, let's talk about what a job offer and an LMIA is. A Labour Market Impact Assessment, LMIA, is a document issued by Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, assessing the impact hiring a foreign worker will have on the Canadian labour market. A positive LMIA indicates that there is no Canadian citizen or permanent resident to fill a position, therefore enabling an employer to hire a foreign national. A negative LMIA indicates that a position should be filled by a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. A job offer letter is a document that a Canadian employer gives you, as a temporary worker. It explains the details of your job. Generally, a job offer letter, or employment letter, is less detailed than a contract. The letter includes information about your pay and deductions from your pay, your job duties, conditions of employment, such as hours of work. Now, let's discuss the various categories of work permit. Work permit requiring a labor market impact assessment, LMIA. Foreign workers in certain sectors are employed to work in Canada under two programs which require the issuance of a LMIA, and they are Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, and Facilitated LMIA, which is specifically for the Quebec province. The Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, allows Canadian employers the ability to temporarily hire foreign nationals in order to fill shortages in Canada's labor force. The TFWP is jointly operated by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, and Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC. The TFWP helps Canadian employers hire the foreign talent they need. It also makes sure that these foreign workers get the rights and protections they deserve to be safely employed in Canada. Under the TFWP, employers may hire temporary foreign workers through the following streams. High-wage workers. If an employer wishes to hire a temporary foreign worker who will be paid at or above the median hourly wage of their province or territory, then the employer must apply through the TFWP stream for high-wage workers. Low-wage workers. If an employer wishes to hire a temporary foreign worker who will be paid less than the median hourly wage of their province or territory, then the employer must apply through the TFWP stream for low-wage workers. Global Talent Stream. The GTS assists certain Canadian employers to hire highly skilled global talent, enabling them to compete on an international scale. This includes civil engineers, mining engineers, electrical and electronic engineers, computer and information systems managers, etc. Foreign agricultural workers. Employers wishing to hire temporary foreign workers to fill specific positions related to agricultural production may be able to use one of the TFWP agricultural streams to hire workers. These workers in the field of agriculture are employed either through the regular agricultural stream or the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program, SAWP. InHome caregivers. Families or companies wishing to hire a foreign national who is already living in Canada to provide care, in a private residence, to seniors, children, or individuals with medical needs, may be able to do so through the InHome caregivers stream of the TFWP. It is important to note that this is different from the home child care provider and home support worker pilots, which are LMIA exempt. Foreign academics. Foreign nationals hired in research positions at post-secondary institutions may be exempt from requiring an LMIA, a work permit, or both. Academics who do not qualify for a work permit exemption or LMIA exemption must ensure that regular procedures are followed for hiring workers through the TFWP. Number 2. LMIA exempt work permit. There are certain immigration programs under which work permit visas are issued without LMIA. However, foreign applicants under this category are required to provide a job offer from an employer. These programs include International Mobility Program. The International Mobility Program, IMP, enables Canadian employers to hire temporary foreign workers without the need for a Labor Market Impact Assessment, LMIA. These LMIA exemptions are based on the following conditions: broader economic, cultural, or other competitive advantages for Canada, and reciprocal benefits enjoyed by Canadians and permanent residents. Home child care / home support worker pilot. The home child care provider and home support worker pilots provide in-home caregivers with the opportunity to become permanent residents once they have 24 months of eligible work experience in Canada. It also lets their family members come to Canada to work or study while they get work experience. So, if you get a caregiver job in Canada as a foreign national, you will be recruited through this program, and you do not need a LMIA to get a work permit. This program is also a direct route to permanent residence after working for 2 years in Canada. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, work permit provides unique opportunities for citizens of the United States and Mexico to work in Canada. The Canada-European Union Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, CETA, work permit provides unique opportunities for EU citizens to work in Canada. Number 3. Open work permits. The work permit issued under this category do not require the provision of a job offer or an LMIA certificate, and the types include Post-graduation work permits, PGWPs. Post-graduation work permits, PGWPs, are open work permits given to international students who graduate from a Canadian program of study. PGWPs allow the holder to work for any employer, for as many hours they wish, anywhere in Canada. Spouse Open Work Permit, SOWP. This permit is for those whose spouse is currently working or studying in Canada, or have applied to be sponsored for permanent residence by their spouse or partner in Canada. They do not require a job offer or LMIA to work. International Experience Canada, IEC. International Experience Canada, IEC, is a set of programs enabling young people from participating countries to travel to Canada to live and work temporarily. It is often called the Working Holiday Visa, and it authorizes temporary stay in Canada, with the approval of work permits for a maximum of 1 year. The Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP. The Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP, lets foreign nationals continue to work in Canada while they await a decision on their permanent residency application. Spouse accompanying international student or worker. Foreign nationals interested in studying in Canada who are married and or have dependent children may wish to bring these family members with them to Canada during their study program. These accompanying spouse or children do not require a job offer or LMIA to work. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so to enjoy more informative content. Also, click the notification icon to keep you notified of new content. Thanks. Let's now talk about how to obtain a Canadian work permit. The process for obtaining a Canadian work permit varies greatly depending on which type of work permit a person is applying for. For example, an international student studying in Canada will oftentimes be automatically issued authorization to work part-time as part of their study permit authorization. Most closed work permit applications require that a foreign national has an official job offer from a Canadian employer, which is supported by a Labour Market Impact Assessment, LMIA. Even those who are LMIA exempt or exempt from requiring a work permit should be aware of the unique documentation they need to prepare in order to ensure they are granted entry to Canada. There are 2 general pathways for obtaining a Canadian work permit: a closed, restricted work permit and an open work permit. Closed work permits are tied to specific employers. This means that a foreign national issued a closed work permit must remain working with the same employer at the same location unless they change their work permit. As for the open work permit, the employer can work anywhere in the country. How much does a Canadian work permit cost? The processing fee for a closed work permit is 155 Canadian dollars per person or $255 per person for an open work permit. If you are restoring a work permit or applying as a group of performing artists, additional fees will apply. How do I apply for a work permit? The application procedure is different depending on which type of work permit you need. The first step is determining which work permit is best for you. After deciding on which work permit you need, the next step is to get all the necessary documents you need to apply for the permit. The documents required for a Canadian work permit will depend on the type of work permit you are applying for. Applicants may need to provide the following documents as part of their work permit application. Completed application forms. Proof of status in Canada, if applicable. Family members' proof of status, if applicable. Labor market impact assessment, if applicable. Written offer of employment, if applicable. CV/resume. Marriage certificate, if applicable. Proof that you meet the job requirements. Valid copy of your passport. Copy of education credential. Medical exam results, if requested. Evidence of financial means to stay in Canada and return to home country. Proof of payment for applicable government fees. Recent passport-sized photos. Types of jobs in Canada that do not require a work permit. The following types of jobs may not require a work permit for foreign nationals to engage in Canadian employment. It should be noted that simple inclusion on this list does not mean that a person will be eligible for a work permit exemption. In order to qualify for a work permit exemption, a person's job must be on this list and they must meet the additional exemption criteria for their specific job as outlined on the International Mobility Program webpage. Athlete or coach. Aviation accident or incident investigator. Business visitor. Civil aviation inspector. Clergy. Convention organizer. Crew member. Emergency service provider. Examiner and evaluator. Expert witness or investigator. Family member of foreign representative. Foreign government officer or representative. Healthcare student. Judge, referee or similar official. Military personnel. News reporter or film and media crew. Producer or staff member working on advertisements. Performing artist. Public speaker. Short-term highly skilled worker. Short-term researcher. Student working off campus. Student working on campus. If a foreign national is employed in one of the positions or scenarios listed above, they may be eligible for a work permit exemption. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share this video with friends and loved ones. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done. Kindly drop your comments in the comments section, as your feedback is of great importance to us. There are a lot of videos with highly informative content on our channel that can help you land that awesome job of your dreams, and we have several more coming soon. Thanks.